Hey guys, Dave from LDX Design here, and this video is going to do a full kind of breakdown of WP Courseware. So WP Courseware is one of the many WordPress LMS plugins that are out there, and I've been trying to go through all of them and look at all their features, kind of try their demos, all that kind of stuff. I wasn't able to find a lot of information on WP Courseware even on their own website. So no screenshots, I didn't have any idea what the actual platform looked like or what it was like to use it on the back end. Even like full features lists, they didn't really have much of that. So they have a free demo on their website. What I'm going to do in this video is open up that demo, go through the front end, show you what the student experience is like, and then go into the back end and show you what the admin or instructor experience is like. And basically just give you a full idea of what it would be like to use WP Courseware from both the student and the instructor perspective. Now, it's going to be a fairly long video because I'm just going to do this sort of off the cuff demo, run through everything as I see it. So you'll get some of my real live reactions. And I'm not going to touch on every single feature. I'm not going to connect all the payment gateways and that kind of stuff, but I will go through all of the settings at the end and show you what you can do with it, but I'm not going to actually try out every single option that it has. And I'm not going to do the integration stuff, but you're going to get a basic idea of all of the features and functionality that are available in WP Courseware, and you'll get the basic idea of what it's going to look like if you were to use it, and just how you would go about using it. So that way, if you're comparing it with LearnDash or Lifter LMS or Tutor LMS, or maybe another hosted LMS platform that's out there like Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, something like that, if you guys are comparing it, you'll have a good idea of what it can and cannot do, and then you'll know whether it might be the right platform for the LMS that you're trying to build. So here we go. Let's dive in and take a look. So right off the get-go, I wanted to show you the front end, what the student's going to see. So on their demo, they've labeled this the course outline. Basically, this is your courses archive page, sort of. It's going to list all of the courses that a student is enrolled in. So you'll see here that they have created 2 courses for us, creating a course with WP Courseware, and then some fundamentals. So on this page, you can open these each up by hitting this drop-down arrow. You've got your progress listed in a progress bar right here. So let me actually open up this one because I've gone through part of it already. This is an optional description that you can add. You don't have to add these, but you can. This is the current student that's logged in. This is their progress. They'll have an overall grade if they've taken some quizzes in that course already. That will give them some kind of a grade there based on the percentage that they've done in the courses. And then if there's a certificate assigned to the course, it'll be available here once they've finished that course and met all the requirements to get that certificate. And then the lingo that WP Courseware uses here, I found it a little bit confusing. You'll see as I go into the admin area a little bit later why I think it's a little confusing, but they basically use the nomenclature of courses, then they have modules that are within courses, then they have units that are within modules. And each unit can optionally have a quiz assigned to it. What I noticed in the way that they set things up in their demo is they have a module that's named exactly the same thing as their course. So that makes me kind of wonder why they even have the 2 if they're naming the module exactly the same as the course. So it may be the kind of thing where you could use modules very differently, and modules are more like different sections within a course, and then the units are like micro lessons. So you could use it that way, I suppose, but the way their demo has it set up did make it a little confusing for me. But as you'll see here, it says module 1, so everything is numbered here, which I found a little bit interesting. Like if you don't want module 1, unit 2, unit 3 all just listed out here, there's really no way to change this. This is automatically output, so I found that a little bit weird. Here's the actual name of each unit that you can change, and then here's the actual name of the module that, again, you can change, but like I said, it's the exact same as the course name. They did the same exact thing with this one. The module is creating a course with WP Courseware, and that's the same exact name as the course. So you probably could use those differently, but I'm just pointing that out, how they set it up in their demo. You'll see quiz grade over here as well. So if you have quizzes within any of these units, then the grade that they got on the quiz will show up here. I do believe you can only assign 1 quiz per unit. I don't think you can have multiple quizzes in 1 unit. So that'll just be the quiz grade that they got for that single quiz that's in that unit. Then over on the right, if you've completed the unit, then you've got a check mark to show you've completed it. and then a blank circle if they have not completed it. Now, you can customize some of the colors of these options. I'll show you that in the admin a little bit later. They do have some styling options. There's not a ton, but there are a few. And then, of course, you can always use custom CSS to tweak styles on your own if you know CSS or you have access to a developer who does. But there are some styling options. But this is the general look and feel. Now, let me jump into the actual course. Oh, interesting. So you actually can't jump into the course. When you click on the course, it just opens things up for you. And it looks like it's forcing you to jump into an actual lesson. Let me try to instead just show you what a course page would look like. So in their demo, they have this just current courses. And then down here, you can click this button to begin course. And this, I believe, takes you to the course pages. So what is interesting, and I will jump into the admin real quick here, is that this looks like just a general page to me, not an actual specific post type. So what I've noticed is if you come in here to WP Courseware and courses, and we are looking at, we've got fundamentals, and then we've got creating a course. If I come over here to pages, I also have this creating a course and this fundamentals. So it looks like they created a page just to put the course material on that page. So they have these different shortcodes that will output all the lessons within a course. And this one's saying show description, true, so it will show that description. And then course 8, which is the ID of the course. So this is what's outputting the lessons on the page. And so if I come back here and show you this again, so this is just a general WordPress page. It's not using the course itself. So whereas like a platform like LearnDash, when you create a course, there's a whole new post type and it's a course page, and you can edit that course page with the block editor or the classic editor or Elementor or whatever you need to. Here you actually have to create, it looks like they're creating a separate page for every single course. So if you have a ton of courses, then you're going to be creating a lot of extra pages, which is going to clutter up your all pages screen here. So I don't fully understand that either. I don't know why they did that. But here we are on what they've deemed as our course page. They've added that short code, which is outputting all this information. You could add some information above that short code. Up here, just some custom content if you wanted to say some things. This is the description that's added for the course. And then they will automatically display this table that has all of the units listed out here. So let's hop into a unit, see what that looks like. So we've got our content on the left and our sidebar over here on the right. I did not find any options to customize this layout at all. So let's click, let's actually try it out. Let's go into edit real quick. And so here we are, this is editing, okay, so this is editing the actual unit. Let me see if I can go to the course and actually change the layout of the course. So I went through all of these different options here, and I don't see any availability to change the actual layout. I'm looking through, yeah, so I don't see any way to change the layout. If we go, let's go back to the unit. Let me look in here, unit template. Here you can choose which template to use for this unit. So this is interesting. There is a templating feature over here. I'll see if we can find that later. But in my initial, before I recorded this video, I went through a lot of these features. I didn't see any ability to create templates, but it looks like there might be here somewhere. So we'll have to check that out. Maybe in settings somewhere there's a way to enable that. But right now I am not seeing how to do that. So this is the default look, content on the left, sidebar on the right. You've got the name of your course, you've got your progress bar for that course, and then you've got your all of your units listed in a collapsible piece here. Each module looks like will be collapsible, and then you'll have your units underneath that. Again, they put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, which you'd have to probably use custom CSS or something to get rid of that. I just think it's unnecessary. So you can get to every single unit, but one thing I noticed is there's no easy way to get back to the course. So being able to click this course title up here would be nice, or some kind of just back to course link, but there's no way to get back to the course homepage. So I've already completed this unit, so I can just go next unit. And then let's see here. Oh, I wanted to show you what it looks like to complete, mark something as complete. So here we are in Unit 3. I have not marked that as complete yet. We've got this, have you completed the unit, then mark it as complete here. So similar to LearnDash and some of the others, you have a mark complete button. We click that, it tells you you've completed the unit. You move on to the next one, and then it colors in this as green, which you can change those colors in the styling options, which I'll show you in a little bit. Same thing with down here, you can actually change the background and the text color of this box for the mark completed. So this is what this looks like here. They're just showing you on this one that you can, actually, oh, I'll come back to that in a minute. They're showing you here that you can embed videos, embed audio, add images, and add PDFs. You can do that default by WordPress. There's nothing specific that I found that WP Courseware is doing that makes videos or PDFs, images, anything like that unique in any way. It's just the default WordPress, which you can do with every WordPress site. So like LearnDash, for example, has some video progression features where you can hide and show certain display features on the video itself to prevent people from fast forwarding. You can require them to watch an entire video before they move on to the next lesson. I didn't see anything like that with WP Courseware. So I'm going to jump over to the next unit and we'll mark, so we've got quizzes. So let's talk about quizzes while we're here. They have only 4 quiz options. You've got true, false, multiple choice, open-ended, and assignment. I will show you what it looks like to create those in a little bit, but it is somewhat limited with their quiz functionality. It does a basic job, but it's not as in-depth as LearnDash. It's not as in-depth as, I believe, Tutor LMS, or even Lifter LMS, I think, has better quiz capabilities. So you're going to get some very basic stuff. The way they have their quizzes, too, there's 3 different options for quizzes. You can do non-blocking, blocking, or survey. Survey is completely optional. It's just to collect additional information from the user. They don't have to fill it out. They don't have to go through every question. They can choose to just skip it. And there are no right or wrong answers. Non-blocking quizzes have right or wrong answers, except they're not going to stop the user from progressing into the next unit and finishing out that module or that course. So there are right answers and they will get graded, but even if they fail and don't hit your requirement for that quiz, they can still move on. And then blocking quizzes are just like non-blocking, except they will prevent the student from moving on. So they do need to finish that and come and get the grade that you're asking them to get. They will need to hit that mark before they can move on in the course. So it will stop their progress. So true, false, multiple choice, open-ended, assignment upload. They're just telling you here some quiz behavior settings. So you can do a timed quiz. You can also set a retake limit. And then you can also show like what the recommended score is to let them know, hey, we need you to get at least 90% on this one. And then there are some settings for the results. As you can see them all listed here. I won't read them out. But if you need to, pause the video, read through these different results options. And then you can also set some custom feedback messages as well. And now let's just take a look at the non-blocking quiz. So they did put a time limit on this of 15 minutes. So we click begin quiz. And I will say, I just find this whole kind of design a little bit outdated. It just looks very like early 2000s to me. Doesn't look like they've really spent much time with the design here. So you could spice this up a lot with custom CSS, but that would require quite a bit of work. And like I said, the styling options are very, very limited. So it looks like you can do an answer later, which is interesting. And that skips to the next one. Then you can go back to the previous. Let's actually answer this. So is this a WordPress plugin? True. Save it and go to the next one. Allows you to embed which types of content. You can add images alongside your multiple choice questions, which is nice. You can also turn your multiple choice questions into checkboxes where they can select multiple answers. So that is another option as well. I will note too, like I find this styling pretty not that great there. There's no space between minutes and seconds, and just adding some separators here would make that look a little bit nicer. So let's do all of the above, save and review. Now it is an option whether you want them to be able to review before they submit. You don't have to do that. You can just make it so as soon as they click submit, it'll just go ahead and submit it right away. But we'll review and we'll say, good, let's submit. All right, so you get this box here. It says 2 out of 2 questions. You got 100% correct. You've completed the unit. Awesome. And I did have one previous attempt at this quiz. I took it earlier. Looks like I can download my results. Let's see what happens when I click that. This is actually pretty nice. It's a PDF file of my results. It's got the course name, the quiz name, my name, and then a results breakdown. And then it's got each question that is in the quiz, all the possible answers, which the correct one was and which one I chose, and tells me that I was correct. So that is actually pretty nice. It didn't put the images down here in all possible because there were images associated with each of these options, but still I'd say pretty cool. Something that not a lot of other platforms that I'm aware of has. So that's pretty neat. This I did find a little strange. The wording here, it says the recommended grade for this quiz is 50%, and you got 100. The course instructor has allowed you to retake this quiz if you wish to improve your grade. I get that I can retake the quiz, but that's just worded strangely because how can I improve my grade if I got a perfect score, right? So something's a little weird there. I don't know if maybe they set up the demo and they put this message in, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. So you can retake the quiz using that button, or you've got just another preview. This is basically the same thing that was sent in that PDF file if you downloaded it. And then we can move on to the next unit. Now you've got blocking quizzes. So you can see that a set required passing score, the student must achieve it before moving on to the next one. They do mention some options here on how this quiz is configured. So you can present random questions from a question bank. That is something you can do. And then you can say, you can have a question bank of 10 questions, but say you only want 5 to appear on that quiz. So that is another option that you can do. So that's pretty cool. And you'll see they're limiting us to 4 attempts to pass it. It requires 50% or higher. And then no detailed quiz data will be displayed, which is nice because if we're requiring them to pass it and giving them multiple attempts, we don't want to give them the correct answers after their first attempt because then they'll just write those down and easily be able to complete it. So that is a good feature there that I like that they have. So let's just go through here. Grass is green, strawberry is red, eggplant purple, submit answers. 3 out of 3, you've passed. Awesome, you've completed this unit, great. And then the final one here, we'll look at surveys. Like I said, this is a little interesting. It looks like they just set this up in a strange way because they're asking us how likely are we to recommend between 1 and 10, but they made them checkboxes. And so we can actually choose multiple, which doesn't make any sense. So these should be radio buttons. I think that's just a setup error on their part. I do think surveys you can set up in this manner and not have checkboxes. I think they just didn't set that up properly. Same thing with this. How do you rate the instructor? Submit our answers. Please provide an answer for all the questions on this page. Okay, so it looks like this first one is required. It wasn't super clear which question wasn't answered, but they did bold this, which I guess is nice, but a little red message in here next to the question would have been nice. We'll say it was a 10 out of 10. Go ahead and submit. Thank you for your responses. It just shows you what your responses were here. And now that we have completed this course, we can download a certificate. So let's go ahead and click on that. I did have to create one. They did not have any certificates listed initially in the course. So here we are. This is just a basic standard one. They give you this background. You can create your own certificates and you can upload your own unique backgrounds. They give you some custom fields where you can put in images for signatures and then fields where you can put the student's name in. I do believe they have a field for the date as well. And then I'm guessing this is the amount of the course that they completed. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll take a look at the certificate creation process in a little bit when I jump into the admin area. And then this will automatically pull in the course name. This pulls in my name. And this was just a random image that I pulled from just a random place to put something in there. Some fun penguins. You could put like a stamp or a seal of approval, or you can just remove it altogether and not have an image there. So there are some decent options with the certificate creation process. So I will show you those later. One thing I did notice though that I found a little confusing is I've completed the whole course. I can download my certificate, but it still looks like the survey's unit is not complete, and it's still telling me 85%, which would be 6 out of 7. So you actually have to reload this page, and then I believe it will show, yes, so then it shows 100%, and I've completed that. But it would be nice to reload the page and show that complete if you're going to tell me that I completed it. Let me get the certificate. So small little thing there, I guess, but just another little thing that I thought they could have definitely done better. Let me jump over to the account. So some of these options aren't working, and I think that's because WooCommerce is not installed. It looks like they're trying to use WooCommerce for this account right here. So this is just some general text they've got, and then this, I believe, goes to our courses page. Again, this is a different listing of the courses page, right? It doesn't have the progress and all the units here. This is almost like an archive page. And then if I click read more, like this, I guess, is the course page, but there's no action buttons on here. There's no way to get to any of the units. So that's a little strange. I don't know why they put this particular link here if it kind of sends you to a dead end. They should have put this link here, or even better yet, probably the course outline. So these might be setup things that they did on their demo, but again, I will say that the way that a company sets up their demo should be pretty indicative of how much time they're spending with their product and how much care they're putting into it. So I'd be a little concerned just with some of the broken links and stuff here. And then achievements. There are 2 different achievements that I've received. You can customize this text. You can customize the image here. They give you some pre-made images that you can use, and you can also upload your own. And then you can choose the number of points that are associated with those achievements. So achievements can be added to course completion as well as unit completion. And I believe, I'm not sure about quizzes, we'll have to take a look at that one, but I know for at least units and courses, you can add achievements. So you have to create them first, then you assign them to either the unit or the course. And here's the link that wasn't working, so I clicked on that to edit my account, and I was just getting a dead end, but I think that's a WooCommerce thing. All right, so let's see. I think that pretty much covers it for the front end of the course. I'm trying to think here. They go through a lot of these things here. I may come back to that, but I really want to just jump in and show you the back end instead of just go through what they're listing as what their options are for this different stuff. So let me jump into the back end now and break down what we've got going on in here. So actually, let me go to the dashboard first. So they do have a nice little welcome message here, a button to create your first course. They've got quick access to student dashboard, course outline, course listing page, a link to buy it, which is interesting because I don't believe you can get it for free. So in order to have it, we've already bought it. So that's interesting. Maybe it was free at one point and then they decided to make it premium only. And then they're promoting one of their other plugins over here. They do add a few dashboard widgets, which are pretty nicely designed and could be somewhat helpful if you're using these things. So points and achievements, they've got, so here you see is me, 600 points because I did the 500 and the 100, got those 2 achievements. So this looks like it's just a total of everyone that you have enrolled in anything, all of their awarded points. So that might be a good way to just see if people are achieving the things you want them to be achieving and accumulating a lot of points. If you see these numbers stagnating, that's maybe a good indication that people are not completing the things that you want them to be. So you may want to reevaluate how you set them up. And then this will give you an idea of your top students based on achievements and how many points they've got. And then this is a basic overview of sales and orders and then subscriptions and how many enrolled students you have in the month, the year, and then overall. So that's a nice just little overview, but not the best reporting in the world there. So let's jump in down here under WP Courseware. This is where you'll find all of the good stuff. Let's start with courses. Now on this courses screen, they do have quite a few options, and I actually really like how these settings are very clear here. They show you the short code right away, so you can copy that. I'm not sure what this actually does that looks like it takes you to settings. Interesting. So course outline, that's nice to have, so you can copy that right away, and then you can jump in and view the modules or the units that are associated with this course. So if we click view units, that should take us to the units page, and it's automatically sorted by that course, which is nice. Let's see. And then the other features here, you've got classroom and gradebook. So let me do this one since I've completed some lessons or units here on the fundamentals course. You click on gradebook, or I'm sorry, you click on classroom, and you're shown each of the students that are in this course, and then you see their progress in each course, and then you've got an option to view detailed progress. So let's take a look at detailed progress. Now this is going to show detailed progress for this student. So it actually shows both courses. You can view the certificate that the student has, and then you can see whether or not they've completed it, the quiz names, what they got on each quiz, and then you can actually look at details. Let's see what happens if we go quiz details here. It goes to that quiz page and it shows us answers to every question, which is kind of nice. They also give you the option to download quiz results and then email the student right from this page, which I actually really like this email student feature. They also have email classroom, which I'll show you in just a second. Works in very much the same way, where you can email all of the students that are in that classroom, or essentially all of the students that are taking that course. So you can enroll students. If you need to search for students, you can quickly enroll them into this classroom, which will put them in this course. And then right here, you can email classroom, and this will email with the subject and a message. You can send an email to all of the students that are in this classroom as well, which is kind of nice. So this is sort of their classroom feature, and then you can switch just using this drop down pretty quickly, and you'll see it updates everything. And again, then just boom, if you needed to email somebody, you can do that. And then you can view a gradebook, and since we don't have any quizzes, it says there's no information to show in that gradebook. I will show you the gradebook for the fundamentals course, so let's hop back over there. Let's view the gradebook. So they give you some information here in terms of being emailed. You can email final grades. You can export the gradebook as a CSV. And then you'll see cumulative grades, certificates available. We've got 2 different quizzes here. So it looks like the more quizzes you have, the more columns you'll have, I believe. And you'll see the percent that they've gotten on each of the different quizzes that you have. So all of those will be just added as new columns, it looks like. So they've got some cool little gradebook features here. And then I believe if you click on that, it should go to the actual quiz and the results. And it does, which is nice. All right, so let's head back there. Let's head back there. So all of that originated from the courses page. The other thing I will show you here is, let's look at detailed progress. And no, let's go back to student. Here we go. So under students down here on the left-hand side, you can do a handful of different things. You can edit the user, that's just their WordPress profile. You can email the student, it shows you this nice little pop-up, which I find very useful and handy. View their detailed progress. The other nice thing you can do here with students is you can actually reset the student to the beginning of, and then you can choose the unit or the module that you want to reset their progress to. So you can do that easily just by doing that, and then it'll ask you, are you sure you want to do this? And you would click OK, and it would reset their progress. So that's pretty nice. And then, yeah, I think that's good for students. So let me come back to courses and show you a lot of these settings that they display here on this page. Let's jump into edit the actual course. And here we have 2 main things on this page. One thing you don't see is the ability to edit content. So that I think is why they created pages, so that they could use the block editor to actually customize those pages and then put the shortcode in there. So that is definitely different than a lot of the other WordPress LMS plugins out there. Most of them on the course page itself, it's its own custom post type, and it has the ability to actually edit content, so you can design it. But here, there's 2 things you can do. You can set up all the settings, and then you can add all of your modules and units. So let's look at the settings first. I'll come back to the course builder in a minute. I also will note that they've got some easy to copy shortcodes right over here on the right, which is nice. And then categories, tags, featured image, all that good stuff. Default WordPress functionality that just about everybody has. So some general stuff is course access. You've got automatic, manual, and closed. You can pause this video and read up on what each of those are. Unit visibility, only completed next unit is visible or all units visible. So this will be if basically what a user is allowed to see. And then their advancement, whether it's manual or automatic. So manual means they have to click next unit. Automatic means as soon as it's marked complete, they'll get bumped to that next unit automatically. And then whether or not they can take notes. I actually didn't see this feature anywhere. So let me jump back over here to that course and see if I can find that notes feature real quick. Let's jump in here. And this, I believe, is actual help for the plugin itself, which it does appear that there's an issue. It looks like you can ask them a question, but all of their documentation and feedback looks like it's offline and not working, or they've just stopped using this feature, but yet this bubble is still there. But on this course page, I don't see anywhere to add notes. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe I have to add a shortcode or a block onto the page, but I don't see that in any of these units. Let me go to another unit. Let me look around. Shortcode. Yeah, I'm not seeing any way to add notes. So that is interesting. It would be a great feature if that was built in, because I know with LearnDash you need a third-party plugin just to do notes. And then I'm not sure if that's involved, included with some of the other WordPress LMS plugins, but it'd be great if it was built in here. I just don't see a way to use it. Description, this is optional. You can choose to have this shown or not shown when you add all your units to a page. Payment type, you've got your three basic options: free, one-time purchase, or subscription. And then for subscriptions, you've got lots of different intervals here: daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, semi-yearly, I think that is. And then yearly, you can choose your price, and then one-time payment. You can choose to do installments, which is actually really nice. And then installment interval, the amount, and then the number of installments. So that's actually pretty cool that that's all built right in here to the course. A lot of this kind of stuff with LearnDash, for example, you would need to do WooCommerce to be able to have some of this more advanced functionality. So that is nice. Now, WP Courseware does work with WooCommerce as well. I have not installed that and set it up to see how that integration works, but we're just looking at their basic payments feature here for now. Messages, they give you a lot of options for all the different types of messages that a user might encounter as they're going through their course, and they're all editable with a WYSIWYG editor, which is nice. And then emails, same thing. You can change the from address, the from name, and then the notification. So this is going to be the admin notifications. And then for your course emails, you've got course complete, module complete, unit unlocked, quiz graded, and final summary. Let's see if it tells us when they receive their grade summary at the end of the course. Nice. And for all of these emails, you can choose your subject line and then your email body as well with the WYSIWYG editor. And it looks like if you click this template tag, you can automatically put in a bunch of dynamic tags. So you can put the student's first name, the course title, certificate link, all that kind of good stuff in those emails, which is really nice. So overall, I'm really impressed with the messages in the email feature. It gives you a lot of customizations for how you can communicate with your students, which is not something you'll find in a lot of other WordPress LMS plugins. So that actually is pretty cool. And then we've got certificates. You can enable it or not. You have to create these separately. So I've created one here, and then you can click this button to preview it. And then we have achievements. So as they finish the course, if you want to assign an achievement, you can do that. I've just created 2 of these, and I'm saying when you finish the course, you get 100 points. But you can always turn that off if you don't want achievements. Prerequisites, exactly what it sounds like. You can choose another course to be a prerequisite. Bundles, I haven't played too much around with this yet. So it looks like select the courses that when purchased will be bundled with this course. So it looks like if they purchase one course, you're going to automatically give them access to another. So let's say you had just a couple of additional lessons you wanted to give somebody for free. You could put those in their own course and then bundle this course with just those couple other little lessons, so they'd get those for free when they bought this one. Instructor, all you're doing here is choosing from your list of users who the instructor is, and then just some tools that you can reset progress, or you can put a course expiration on it for everybody. Looks like you can expire on a specific date or an interval from the student's unique enrollment date. So that's cool. I will say that I was able to change an enrollment date for a student. I don't think I showed you that before, but I believe maybe update access. Yeah, update access. So on here you can just uncheck that and then save if you want to remove them from a course. But you can also come over here to enrollment date and give that a change and then click Save Changes. So that would come into play if you were choosing this option down here to expire the course after an interval from their enrollment date. So that's helpful there. All right, so that's course settings. Let's look at course builder. This is another big piece of the puzzle here. So I actually really like what they've got going on here. So we've got our module that we can drag and move around, but we only have the one module. So this opens up the module, and again, to me this is a little confusing the way they set up their course module unit sort of structure. But for modules, all you can do is add a title, associate it with a course, provide a description, and then give an achievement. And then you can add units to that module. So it's pretty much the same as LearnDash, where they have courses, lessons, and topics. You can think of this as courses, modules, and units. Pretty much the same thing, only your modules can't have content. So it's more like, in LearnDash, this is more like a section heading in a lot of ways, because you cannot actually add any content. You can just add this short description. So that is a module, but let me go back. I don't want to really mess with that right now. What you've got here in this module, you can add units. You can edit this module. You can actually edit the module right here on the page without leaving the page, and just click update, which I really like. And then if you click this link, it'll actually open the module up in a new page, or you can just delete it. You click this arrow, it opens up the builder with all of your units inside of your module. And same thing, you can click this edit link and it opens up the unit right here on this page. So you're not opening up a new page. Now, the one downside to this is that you have to use the WYSIWYG editor. You can't use the block editor. I believe if you open up that unit, let's open up the unit in a separate page. So here we can we're using the block editor. But when we stay on the page, we can only use the WYSIWYG editor. So things could get a little interesting there depending on the type of blocks that you're using, because not all blocks are going to work in the WYSIWYG editor the same way. So I'm really curious how they handle that, but I suspect some issues could arise from that. And then you can drip the content on a specific date or a specific interval after the course start date. So it looks like if we go specific date, you're given a date picker, or interval, X number of days, weeks, months, years, hours after the user enrolls in the unit, or when the user enrolls in the course, should this unit become available. So you can drip content, which is nice. And then you can do a teaser or a preview unit. This is just like sample lessons in LearnDash. You can check this box if you want to allow them to access it, even if it's behind a paid course. And then achievements for every single unit, you can change there as well. So you can add all this, and then you can add units right in here. Select an existing one or add a new one, give it a title, content, all that. Click add at the bottom. So that's pretty nice. And then you can also select from any of your existing ones. You can add more modules through here. And then it also tells you how many quizzes. So 0 quizzes, 1 quiz. This one has a quiz. We open it up. Here's the quiz. Can I edit this quiz? I can edit the title and the description on this page. but I can't edit the questions. If you want to edit the quiz questions, you'll have to click this link, which will open up the actual question editor, which we'll get to here in a minute. So I actually do like the fact that you can edit all of these in a pop-up right on this page. You can drag and drop any of these units anywhere you need to. And that's pretty much it for courses. Yeah, I think we're good there. I'll show you achievements real quick just because it's super simple. Basically, like you click on add new, you can give it a text, give it a title, you choose how many points you want to be awarded, and then over here on the right, you can select an image from their pre-made ones. So I just selected this 500 here, or you can click upload and use any image that you would like to use. So let's go ahead and do that and update. Pretty simple there with achievements. You can create as many as you want, name them however you want, but you want to make sure that you know what they're named, and that name will also show up to the students. And then you can assign achievements to courses, quizzes, units, all that good stuff. Let's take a look at, we've done modules. I don't think there's really anything else under units. It gives you the course and the module that that unit is being applied to. It tells you whether or not it is a teaser. You can view all the units in a specific course or just in a specific module, which is nice. You can filter that way. Yeah, that's all there really is to units. If we go to edit a unit, you just get your basic block editor here. You can put whatever you want. You can embed YouTube videos. You can do all that good stuff. I still need to figure out if I can find this template feature. Haven't been able to find that yet. And then unit drip, teaser, achievements. Same stuff that was in the pop-up when we were on the courses in the course builder. Same stuff is available here on the unit page. Now let's look at quizzes. Quizzes is a big thing with any LMS. Not everybody uses them, but a lot of people use them, and some people need them to do very specific things. So the quizzes in WP Courseware are pretty basic. So let's take a look at, let's open up this test quiz that I have here. You'll see it does show you the course and the unit that it's assigned to right here, which is nice. It tells you what type of quiz, and if you've got a minimum passing requirement, it tells you that as well. Whether you've enabled the show answers or not, and then whether you're using pagination or just showing all the quiz questions on one page in a row. And it shows you how many questions you have on that page, which is also nice. So let's open up this test quiz. Quiz title, description, description's optional, and then the type. So like I said, there's 3 types. Survey, there's no correct answers, you're just collecting info. Blocking means they have to hit a minimum passing mark, and then non-blocking means they can move on to the next lesson or the next unit without passing anything. So that's that. And then quiz behavior, show responses or not at the end. So that's nice if you want them to retake it and they have to get a certain score. You'd want to not show responses, so that's cool. You can assign an achievement once they finish that quiz, and then pagination or not, you can choose which option you want there. And then you've got managing questions. So what I've done here is I've added each of the 4 different types of questions. So they only have 4, and they're over here on the right for you to add to this quiz. Multiple choice, true, false, open-ended, and file upload. You notice also you can add questions from a pool. So this pulls up all of your questions that are already there, and then you can just click add to quiz whenever you need to. And then you can also create different tags. So you can put a whole bunch of quiz questions in one pool, give them a specific tag, and then come over here and just say, just show me all of the questions that are that are tagged with colors. And you've got all of these right here that are all questions about colors. They're all multiple choice ones, and then you can add those to the quiz that way. So that's adding from a pool. And then add random questions. Randomly select from the entire quiz pool, show a certain number, or randomly select from a specific tag. So let's say we wanted to randomly select 2 questions from the colors tag. Then you can also add another and say, also show me 2 from the topic A, and then insert random question that way. So that is a pretty neat feature actually that they have, that it's super simple to use and it's pretty obvious. So I really do like that. but again, you are limited in the types of questions. So open-ended, you put your question here, you can have an image if you want, and then you can choose the size of the box for people to type in. So if it's a super short answer, you would do a single line of text, or you can choose how many lines of text in a larger box. So like this guy right here is probably 4 lines of text, double this for 8, or you can go even bigger and have a really large text box for 15 lines. Optional for a hint if you want, it'll just appear as small text at the bottom, and then this is where you can assign a question tag if you wanted to use it from a pool or pull some random questions in later. But this is just going to give them a box to write whatever they want. You'll have to manually grade that on your own. And then true, false, you write your question in. In this form, you actually can't put correct answers. So when you're in a quiz and you're editing questions, you can't choose what the correct answers are. You actually have to do that on the questions page, which I will show you in just a minute. But you can set up most of your questions here this way, or change some of the basic info, but you won't be able to change the correct and incorrect answers. So multiple choice question, you put your question here, and then you can force checkboxes, or if you don't check this, you'll get radio buttons. So checkboxes will allow multiple correct answers. Radio buttons will only allow one correct answer. So we've got all of our options in here, and then, like I said, you can't choose a correct answer, but I'll show you that in a minute. And then file upload. This is the other option, and this won't be correct or incorrect. You'll need to look at this and decide on the grade on your own. So upload, you can choose your file extensions that you're going to allow here. And that's pretty much it for the managing questions on the quiz part. So that's everything with the quizzes. Now let's come over here to questions. So when we go to edit a question, let me show you this one, for example, this multiple choice one. Now we've got some different options. So now you'll see this correct answer column, and here's where you check the correct answer. So if we do force display as checkboxes, then we can actually select multiple correct answers. And then you can also, so we don't want to force that. You can randomize answers. So this is pretty cool too. You can list them in this way, and then if you always want them listed, you would uncheck that, and it would always have black first, white second, etc. Or you can randomize them, and it will, every time somebody views it, it will shuffle them around. You can delete an answer by clicking this. You can hit the plus to add a new answer, and every answer can have an optional image if you want from the media library. This is displayed after the quiz is submitted, so this is an explanation. This is optional, but this is what that setting on the quiz page, whether to show or not show those explanations, that is what you're choosing to show or not, is whatever you put in this box. But this is totally optional. And then let me show you one of the other ones. So a true, false question, correct answer, you just choose true or false. So that's super simple. And then let's look at an open-ended question. I don't think there's really anything different here that we didn't already see. That's all the same. So you can just head back to questions. Those tags that you have set up for your questions, you can use them by filter by them up here and just see the questions that are in certain filters. So that's nice. You can also just look at the multiple choice question type. I think may have to hit filter after we choose that. Doesn't look like that's working. So, oh, there we go. It just took, no, it didn't. This is nice though. I just found this at the bottom. It's not at the top, which is interesting, but it looks like you can choose a bunch of questions, and then for all the ones that we've selected, you can add a tag, remove a tag, or replace all instances of a tag. So that's nice if you need to bulk manage your questions and assign different tags to them. I'm not sure exactly what this is doing up here, because I was hoping that it would just filter things for me on this page, but it does not appear to be working correctly. Unless, of course, you click add new and it'll add a new true false question. Okay, so that's probably what that was for. So if you do open-ended and click add new, it'll add a new open-ended question. Okay, so we figured that out. It looks like that's pretty much it, I think, for questions and quizzes. We did already take a look at students, bulk enroll students. You can type in a bunch of existing users on your course or on your site, and then bulk enroll them into which course you want to enroll them into. It looks like we can choose multiple here. So if you wanted to bulk enroll this student and then multiple other students and put them in both of these courses, you can do that from here. Like I said, with payments, orders, subscriptions, all that stuff, I am not going to go into full depth on that. I will show you some of the settings for setting up payment options, but I'm not going to go through the whole entire process. So orders and subscriptions, they just have pages in here where you'll see what those subscriptions are. It looks like it'll list the total, the status, the start date, all the basic stuff you would expect from a subscription or from an order. It's got the status, it's got the total for the order, all that kind of stuff. Coupons is optional. You can enable or disable this in settings. I enabled it just so I could create one. So here is their coupon code creator. You can do a percentage discount, fixed cart, or fixed on a specific course if you wanted to. And then the amount, if you just put 10 and you have a discount, it'll be 10%. If you've got a fixed cart discount or a fixed course discount, these will be dollar amounts. So if you put 10 here, that'll be $10. And then it can have a start and an end date. You can put usage restrictions on the coupon for minimum, maximum spend, whether it has to be used on its own, can't be combined with other things, if it's only allowed to be applied to specific courses, or exclude certain courses from using this code. And then usage limits, you can either do a per coupon limit or a per user limit. So some pretty good options for coupons, all built into the courseware. So again, I'm pretty impressed with the coupon functionality here, just like I was with all the subscription and payment options as well. Tools, we probably don't really need to spend much time here. This is like import, export type stuff. Some utilities on here that really only if you reached out to the support should you need to ever mess with. The import, export though, I will say, is most likely only going to work for other WP Courseware content. I don't believe that these import and export are going to work for taking content from WP Courseware and putting it into LearnDash or Lifter or Tutor or anything else. You're going to need to do some recreating of that content, just because every LMS stores their content in different ways. But it is nice to know that you can import and export all of your data if you need to. And now let's look at settings. So I'm going to pause the video here real quick, and then I'll be right back with you. All right, settings. So thanks for hanging around this long. I know the video is getting long, but I wanted to really give you a full overview. If you guys are liking the way I'm doing this and want to see this for other LMS platforms, both WordPress LMS plugins as well as other hosted solutions like Thinkific, Teachable, Kajabi, all that kind of stuff, I would love to do that for you. So let me know down in the comments, and then subscribe to the channel if you want a whole bunch of other content about LearnDash and WordPress LMS platforms and hosted LMS stuff. I'm branching out from just doing LearnDash now, and I'm going to be doing all kinds of different LMS stuff. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button if that's the kind of stuff that you are into. All right, so last piece that we're going to cover here is the settings. So first off, courses. We've got general, membership, achievements, permalinks, taxonomies. You can select your general all courses page here. And then a course outline. This is a little, I don't love this. I mean, it looks like they're trying to get you to promote their own platform and say powered by WP Courseware at the bottom of the outline. Of course, we're not going to want to do that. So I don't know. I find this a little bit elementary. I wish they didn't have that there. Membership. This, it looks like, is restriction messages for logged in users and then content that's only for course members. So I haven't dove fully into how their membership system works or if you need another membership plugin. I know they have good integrations with MemberPress, Restrict Content Pro, Paid Memberships Pro, Memberium, several others as well. So this might really tie into using those platforms. And maybe they have some short codes that you can use to restrict content for only logged in users. But this would just be customizing those messages. Achievements, there's a few options here for displaying those achievements. You do see a little pop-up in the top right-hand corner. It did happen earlier in the video when I was on the front end going through one of the units and completing it. I think I got 500 points or something, but we didn't really get a chance to see it. But I enabled pop-up notifications so that that would happen. You can disable that if you don't want to. You'll still just award them points and give them those achievements. They just won't get a pop-up when it happens, but they'll be able to see them later in their account. And how long that pop-up lasts for, and then what the color background and text color is for the pop-up. The leaderboard, I've not been able to figure that out yet. I've looked for a leaderboard shortcode or something of that nature, but I haven't been able to figure that out, so I don't know what the leaderboard is. Permalinks. This is just basic course permalinks. You can change the structure, courses, or enter in some kind of custom URL. I wouldn't really play with that. I would just kind of leave everything to the default, just as I would with LearnDash or any other WordPress LMS. Just leave things the way they are, because when you start changing URLs, it can hurt your SEO. It can create a bad experience for your users. Just not a great idea. Taxonomies, category and tag, you can change to what it says here. It's going to say course topics, it looks like, is the course category base. I would just leave those blank and use the defaults again. So units. We've got a few options here. Again, I mean, permalinks and taxonomies, I'm not going to cover that again. Just leave those to the defaults. You can enable comments on units. So this is interesting. I have this enabled, yet when I'm on this unit, I don't see comments anywhere. So I just refreshed the page, and it must be like the theme they're using, I guess, that isn't outputting comments, but I was hoping to see the ability to leave comments on there. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but it looks like you can do that. Maybe if it was using a different theme, that would work. I'm not sure. And then drip feed, settings determine functionality for the unit drip feed. Okay, so this is checking every so often whether or not a unit is available, and then the system sends them an email. The setting determines how frequently the system should check for possible notifications. Okay, so this is just checking to send them an email when a new thing becomes available. So you can send it, if you do it every hour, that'll get it most closely to when that unit becomes available. If you just wanted to send them one a day, let's say you have multiple units become available, you can just send them one daily email. And then unit labels. So some WordPress LMSs, like LearnDash, I know for sure, has a bunch of custom labels you can use. This does not let you, interestingly, does not let you change the name of courses or modules, but it does let you change the name of units. You can use lesson, lecture, or click custom and then type in a singular and a plural option for unit. But you cannot change course or module or quiz. In LearnDash, you can change all of those. In WP Courseware, you can only change unit. Interesting. Checkout. This is where all of your payment type settings are going to be. You can set up your specific checkout pages, so you create those pages and then put a shortcode on them. Very similar to how WooCommerce works. You would select your currency. There's a big drop down for your currency here, and then a couple of the different currency options for how your payments are displayed. Payment gateways. By default, they have integrations with PayPal and Stripe. You can also use, like I said, WooCommerce. I did just quickly take a look in here, like for example, Stripe. I was hoping to find the ability to one click and just connect with Stripe. I know Stripe does that because a lot of other WordPress plugins that use payments and integrate with Stripe, they allow you to just click and connect. I think it's a more secure way to do things. You don't need to go searching around for where all of your API keys and stuff are. But you do have some options to choose the kind of Stripe checkout you want to do. You can add some images and descriptions if you want, inline credit card form, statement descriptor. Pretty basic stuff here, which most other basic Stripe integrations have. It's only that this one does not give you the ability to just quickly connect. You have to actually go hunt down all of your API keys, which is a little bit of a bummer, but if you know what you're doing, not the end of the deal, not the end of the world. And then PayPal is the other option they have built in. That looks very similar to the Stripe, where you just go through all your API keys, whether you're using Sandbox or not for testing, PayPal email, all that good stuff. So those are your payment gateways. And then taxes, this is interesting. You can enable taxes, but they just give you one box to put in a percentage. If you've ever had to deal with taxes before, you know that in the US anyway, they're different in every state and every city and every county. They're obviously different in different countries. So I don't know how helpful this is to just have one percentage, but you do have that option to just do that. If you're selling to a lot of different people and taxes are important to you, then I would probably go with WooCommerce and use a plugin to do more advanced taxes with WooCommerce. Coupons, I believe this is just to enable or disable it. If you disable it, it'll remove it from the sidebar over here, but I have it enabled so I can show you guys how to use it. Checkout process, we should all be using HTTPS. You shouldn't actually have to use that at all, so that's kind of antiquated. Redirect to checkout. If you want to send them to checkout as soon as they add something to the cart, then that would be a good option to enable. And then privacy gives you the option to put a privacy checkbox and link to a privacy page on the checkout page if you need to. So you can do that here. Some of the student options, you can choose which page is your student account page. I believe there is a shortcode of some kind you can put on that account page. I can't remember if they have a specific one like WooCommerce does for their My Account page or not, or if this just has the list of all the courses that student's enrolled in. It might have that shortcode. Your student endpoints, I wouldn't mess with those unless you know what you're doing and you need to access those in some way. And then on the student account, when you're displaying the courses, you can choose to show or hide all of these different things. So this is kind of nice. You can customize the way that things look a little bit by just checking and unchecking some of these boxes, and that'll just change the way that course outline looks for your students when they go to it. Let me just see. So if I go to course outline, right now, if I open this up, I've got this right here, which I believe is the description and then a prerequisite. So let me actually try unchecking description and prerequisite, click save, come back here, let's refresh, open her up, it's still there. That doesn't have prerequisite. Let's remove the progress, see what happens. Still seeing progress. All right, so whatever is being output here must not be what they're referring to as the student account courses display. There must be a different shortcode. I'm not sure where that is because, again, I went to account and there's nothing here. So I'm not sure what that means, but when you figure out what that shortcode is, it's nice to be able to customize it with these options. Emails. Pretty impressed with the amount of emails they have, and then every single one of them is configurable. You enable it, you can enter recipient subject, choose plain text or HTML, and then you've got a WYSIWYG editor. So this is pretty nice that you can customize all these email notifications in a really simple way. You can put in any dynamic information using these merge tags, and then you can view an email or send a test email. So all of that is actually really, really nice for all the different types of emails that they offer. And then email sender is just from name, from address. You can update that. And then an email template allows you to select some custom colors for your branding, put a header image at the top and some footer text at the bottom. And then all of these notifications, when you edit them, that will appear in the middle, and then you'll have your header up above and your footer down below with this information in the middle. So pretty cool, pretty powerful email notification system here. Styling, these are some basic options. You can use custom CSS for the rest of it, but it is nice to have some of these options. You can choose to not use the default CSS. That means you will be writing all of the CSS that you need to power everything. I would not recommend that unless you are a developer creating a very advanced platform. It would take a long time to write a lot of the CSS to make everything happen. So use the default, and then if you select the yes to customize colors, you've got some things for progress bars, your icons that are checked or not checked, some notifications that you'll see, warning, success, some buttons, hover options, completion button, certificate button, some colors for the quiz. So there is a box put around the quiz by default. and you can change that. You can make it match the actual background of your page so it looks like there is no box around it. There is no way to set transparency in any of these color pickers though, so you will actually have to choose a specific color for everything. You can't choose, like, do any kind of transparency or just say I don't want that color there. And then unit colors, this is for when all of your units are listed out. You've got different options here for the box when it's complete. By default, those are green. You can change those to something else. And then previous and next buttons, and then I believe a mark complete button as well. So those are your styling options. And then the rest of this is just your licensing here, and then some support information that you'll provide if you need help and to reach out to them. They do also on this page give you examples of their short codes and how to use them, which is nice. So they give some examples down the bottom. These are all the parameters that you can choose to use with each short code. So you just click on each one of these buttons and it gives you a nice overview of the short code down there. And then they're also promoting their other products on this other tab. I will say that the other thing I noticed, which I kind of pointed out before, oh, we do have some, interesting. All right, so it looks like you have to be on their support page. When I tried to pull up these previously, I didn't get any information. So like I was over here on, I believe, the course page. Huh. All right, well, it's not happening anymore, which is good. So when you are here, I may have been editing an actual course, and then that came up, and I tried to open up some answers, but I'm not able to find that anymore, so that's not important. But that is nice that you've got some instant answers that you can get access to from their documentation, which is nice here. So I believe that just about does it for the WP Courseware walkthrough. It was super long. If you guys stuck around till now, hit subscribe if you want more content about WordPress LMS plugins and other hosted LMS platforms. I'll be doing lots of breakdowns. I'll be doing lots of other tips and smaller, shorter videos on how to do very specific things with all these plugins. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for staying with me, and I will catch you in the next video.